Alright, welcome back. This is part 2 of how to clear the Iron Keep. So in the previous one we defeated the Smelter Demon and the Pursuer afterwards in the boss room. Now we're gonna do the second part of this level. If you don't get too close to that doorway, those two guys will not aggro and you can fight this guy on your own. There we go. And pretty much as soon as you enter the doorway, both of the knights will come at you at the same time. So be prepared. Try to inch in. See if we can get him before his brother comes. Okay, this is why we wear armor. Sometimes you just can't get them all at once. The reason I fight them out here is because, again, as soon as I step up about halfway to the first bridge, the guy's gonna start trying to break the thing. I just get all the way up close to him and then bait him back here, because I don't want, even if he doesn't hit the floor, he has other attacks, but if he stands on that part as he's hitting, he will break the floor here. It takes 3 hits to break this thing, and it's just a hassle to jump across, so I don't want to bother. But everything here is extremely weak to strike damage, so make sure you use that. Right now I'm not going to lower this lever here because the platform remains bigger. I will not cover Belfry Sol because it's a pretty straightforward area. This area here is a little bit more difficult, so Belfry Sol is not that hard. There's no point. Let's aggro this guy. Let's see if we can Kobe him. Okay, we got him. You can also use throwing knives, arrows, whatever. I'm going to have him come at me on his own. I'm using magic weapon. This takes 10 intelligence. You can buy it from Carillion of the Fold. He goes to Majula. You need 8 intelligence. You find him in No Man's Wharf. You need 8 intelligence to talk to him. Then he moves to Majula, and I believe this is one of the best things you can get for your character in the whole game. You start off with 8 by default, 8 magic weapons. It does 50 points of damage, and you only need intelligence 10 to use it. Highly recommend to everybody to use magic weapon if you can spare the extra 5 or whatever your character starts off with. So that guy started shooting us. We blocked the hit even without trying. So you can fight the knight I just fought a little bit further back. That way you don't get hit by arrows. But there is a lizard right down there. So we're gonna wait for him to shoot one more time, and we're going to try and descent attack that lizard. Another way to try to kill that lizard, although it's a bit more annoying for you later on, I'll show you after I defeat this guy. Let's two-hand, because he's pretty slow, but he does a lot of damage and he has a lot of poise. Is to activate all these things here. And then after you rest at the bonfire, whenever you come down these stairs, the lizard will get caught in the fire. He will go through 2 fire lavas, whatever that is, and it might kill the lizard. So that works in your favor. Again, look how big the platform is. That's why I'm fighting all the enemies while the platform is still big. Before I lower it, you do need to lower it to continue with the level, or to do a certain part of the level. I know where the enemies trigger, so make sure you follow because that's the problem with the Iron Keep, right? There's an enemy right behind that pillar. You see him? He's gonna trigger when I go on that platform, or if I go on that platform, but I can walk around here and he's not gonna trigger. So for example, there we go, he triggered. So if you go over to this knight here, that enemy comes up behind you. It's all about knowing where the enemy's aggro points are. Or if I go and fight that knight, all of a sudden he comes from behind the pillar. That's what people don't understand. Like, where are these enemies coming from? They're always hidden out of view, and they come at you from seemingly nowhere. We're gonna fight this final thing here. Now we can lower the bridge, or lower the platform. These urns here, you can use that to get a chest. That's all the way at the end back there. I won't be covering that in this video. It's very simple. What you need to do is put on the best fire resistant armor that you have. You get a fire ring in where the salamanders are in the Forest of Fallen Giants. So armor, ring, flash sweat, and the urns, and also the fire, the pools of fire. Sorry, the pools of water. The ones you have to use Pharaoh's Lockstone to unlock. Here there will be 2 enemies coming at me, so I need to kill the first one as quickly as possible. So there is the first one. See if attack. They do knock you a little bit backwards. See that? It's pretty crazy. Okay, I managed to get him in the same combo there. Perfect. Ooh, the Black Steel Katana. And I'm also gonna get invaded here. This enemy I'm terrible at fighting because his weapons are extremely difficult to parry. And he has a lot of poise. Enemies who have a lot of poise are just pointless to try and fight one-on-one because it's just stupid. Maybe actually what you could do is try to knock him off this edge with something like a Zweihander. Wouldn't be a horrible idea. Backstab also works. Because you see that right there? What did he do? Did he... No, I don't know. I thought he Lloyd's Talisman. Maybe he didn't. Maybe two-hand a great weapon like this. I'm not sure how you would fight him. He doesn't roll very well. And he's quite... he's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to dodging either. But he does dodge, you know. Audio the Collector. He has a ton of weapons. This thing is only +6. I should technically be having a +10 weapon when I'm this deep into the game, but hey, it's whatevs. So this is one of those pools that that spew out water, but you cannot get on this platform again after you jump down, so I don't need to use that. Right, I like to bait these guys to attack, so I'll just stay on the edge. There we go. Now I'll run behind them. Behind one of them. Oh, okay. Didn't backstab. He charged up his bow. That's what you want to do. You do not want them to pull their weapons. So I'm just gonna stand here waiting. When he charges up the bow, I go behind him. You don't want to fight these guys when they have their katanas out. And also the weapon that I'm using is technically not good for the situation, but it's whatever. Yeah, don't use big weapons like this that make you sort of take huge steps, and that's not a very good good strategy here in an area where you can fall to your death very easily. Alright, so we got everything. Halberds suck as well. Lances I don't recommend either. Simple things. Easy moveset. Not too extreme or anything like that. There are knights on either side of this little bridge here. Drop down by the chain. But they shouldn't come up behind you. So you can just simply attack one. Let's just wait for him to hit. And the one behind me shouldn't come up behind you. Lock-on does mess you up sometimes, so I kind of recommend... Actually, I could just jump down from here. Do I have the cat ring? Absolutely not. But yeah, sometimes when you lock on, even if you don't press any direction on your keypad, on your joystick, your character still takes a step in a completely different direction, so be careful with that. It's very simple to fight these knights. As long as it's a one-on-one, you just do this. Very, very simple. If you didn't kill the turtle knight, he will attack you as soon as you cross that fog wall. Let's switch back to the ring that I had before. I think it was this one. We're coming into a tunnel. Now, do I have that weapon? Absolutely not. Even if you don't have a large club here, I highly recommend using a large club here. Or sorry, even if it's not upgraded, that's what I meant to say. Because this enemy just does one attack. You can also use the craftsman's hammer. Or something that does blunt damage. You can also roll into them and then attack. That's a great strategy. This thing is upgraded so it does enough damage to kill them quickly. There's an item there. I'm not gonna pick it up yet. Look at that, a Sombro trying to help out. We're gonna get the bonfire up here before we fight the boss. The boss is gonna be the last thing in the video. Because that boss is not very hard. The only problem is that there is a hole behind him. I will show you a strategy that I like to use against him. And I believe he's weak to thrust. I could be wrong though. Maybe, I don't actually know. Maybe he's just neutral to everything. Because he's not exactly wearing armor, so. Poison Mist can be useful, but then I currently only have one attunement slot. Poison Mist can be useful because he's pretty slow, like walk up to you, so you can use Poison Mist. I could put on the ring that gives me 2 attunement slots, but it's okay. Or it gives me 1 extra, I should say. I have 10 attunements, so I have 1 slot by myself. Roll into him, attack, attack. The armor that I'm gonna use, I'll just put myself a little bit lighter so my stamina regeneration is faster. Shield doesn't really help. You can't block him. And I guess I'll use this as well. Basically, the boss arena is pretty small, and he tries to knock you into this hole. You can always fall off anywhere on the edges. The problem is this big hole back here. So I'm gonna stand here so that he comes close to here. So if I get knocked back, I ideally get knocked in that direction. Oops, I forgot to buff. I have to dodge now, but this is what you want to do. You want to essentially just walk. Certain attacks you can just walk. You don't need to dodge. Like this one, just walk. Boom. That one you have to dodge. Or get really close to his leg, and I don't really want to do that. And when he breathes fire, you hide behind here. But as soon as the fire, like the hitbox of the fire moves, you should move as well. So as soon as the fire leaves, essentially, like lets you go, you should move as well. He's breathing fire. Just walk, take your time. Doesn't take, he's very slow with everything he does. So there we go. Now he's doing that again, but you see that? That's directed at me. So it's not side to side as much. He's doing it again. You want to use this only when he breathes fire, and then get out of there as quickly as possible. So there we go. When he goes under the lava, I like to come over here so that over there remains as my safe zone. When he emerges, be careful of the lava balls. So there we go. That attack sucks. Now you do have to sprint because it has an insane range. I think I can get close to him here. Yep. And just dodge. He's doing it again. Run away. Get close to him because I ideally want him to hit me with his hands, right? So that's why I try to bait the hand attack. That one doesn't reach all the way over here. But that one does. So as soon as the fire allows me to leave, I will leave. That's a directed attack. You can hit his horns too. Or his face. But it's a bit more risky. But essentially that's what you want to do against this boss. You don't really want to like panic and oh my god, what? No, just walk calmly. Do everything super like on purpose. You know, intentional. Just walk around. Sometimes you sprint, dodge if you have to, but don't be like, oh my god, what? Because it doesn't, it's not necessary. So yeah, that was the Iron Keep and the old Iron King. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.